Dude, are you shirt cocking it now?
Maybe. Winnie the Pooh.
What the fuck were we talking? Oh, Juggernaut. We're talking about Juggernaut. Talking about the fact that Colossus left fucking his two most important assets behind. And we're talking about the fact that I feel like he either stole a smart car, because I just think that's funnier in my head, or he ran like some sort of fucking distance runner. Just all, I picture him looking like a giant T-1000 like in Terminator 2.
Maybe we could just spray paint all the scenes from the early 2000s Hulk movie, being Lee one. Just spray paint the Hulk from that silver and clip those scenes in for the extended cut.
Why does he go across so much desert to get there then?
Ang Lee.
So anyway, I'm just like, so loved the Juggernaut character, loved his fucking theme music. So my understanding of it is that they had written something in pseudo-Latin, and whoever was in charge of the music heard it and was like, give me a minute. And he went and wrote a bunch of fucking lyrics, and that's how you end up with the motherfucking Juggernaut. So, I gotta say, it's ingenious how they dispatch Juggernaut.
Super secret cameos.
Oh yeah, we were talking about those. We covered the super secret cameos in the last video.
But that was I was gonna say that was one of the things about it though
was not expecting the X-Men cameo again.
But super secret. Okay, yeah, there's the X-Men cameo. Okay, so I guess there's 3 super secret cameos because you've got the entire X team from the last movie throwing Charles Xavier a birthday party
and
in the
they managed
background.
to keep that one completely under wraps.
And the other, so the absolutely third secret cameo is who's actually playing Juggernaut, which is Ryan Reynolds again, because after hearing several people try to voice the character, he decided that the best way to do it was to just fucking do it himself.
Grandma's Sweet Peach Tea. DC reference inside a Marvel review?
That's like a fourth wall break inside a fourth wall break.
That's like 16 walls.
Haha, these are the jokes.
So like, I dig it. I'm looking forward to X-Force. Best mid-credits roll scene of any Marvel movie ever.
But how does all of everything that happens take place the same way? So after saving Vanessa, does he just go and join the X-Men to join the X-Men?
I guess so.
I guess there is a way to preserve this timeline without it only making slightly less sense. Of course, it still doesn't explain why, Wade took a cat nap on 2,000 gallons of high-grade test fuel when Vanessa wasn't home.
Well, I'm pretty sure none of that happened anymore. I'm pretty sure that it's a whole different situation.
Are we? Because all the other events
think about this. No, think about this. They shot all those alternate scenes for the thing, right? So what if all those alternate scenes are just the timeline after Wade saves Vanessa? Her whole speech to him in the kitchen about saving the boy because he's worth it to him, and... So is Deadpool 3 just going to be Deadpool going back and fixing that movie from happening and being the exact same movie in a different order?
I mean,
fucking time travel.
Well, yeah, we're getting something similar with fucking, we're getting all kinds of fucking fun time travel shenanigans. I mean, they rewrote the entire timeline not too long ago with an X-Men movie.
So I want to state two movies in the X-Men franchise deal with fucking time travel. And both of them erase parts of X-Men Origins Wolverine from ever having had happen. Granted, I think Wade went about it in a little more succinct way.
But, it doesn't hurt that Bryan Singer got to write the time-traveling snuff film that saved the franchise.
Yeah, no matter how you feel about it, that's how we feel about fucking Days of Futures Past.
Yeah. It's the time-traveling snuff film to save the franchise.
On the subject of Juggernaut, did you know that they were originally going to use Juggernaut for the fucking prison escape from the Pentagon?
Yeah, and then they decided to go with Quicksilver because it would look doper.
And it did.
And then they wouldn't have to explain the whole Juggernaut is also Charles's brother and where has he been.
I like how they handled that in this movie, too.
But
so you wear a helmet to keep your brother from reading your mind? Yeah, but he's in a wheelchair, so I kind of think it's even.
But think about it. If they had brought Juggernaut in to break Magneto out of the fucking How would they have explained that? Where was Juggernaut all those years when he was living with Raven?
And why didn't Magneto know him when they fucking broke him out of the goddamn... Yeah, see, there are just too many goddamn temporal issues in this series. But then again, if you read the X-Men comics in the 90s, the X-Men movie series kind of followed suit.
This makes more sense than the reason Cable traveled back to the past in the original version of the story.
Because they sent him to the future to begin with?
God damn it. No. I want to
We're going to send you back. We're going to send you forward in time to fucking save you.
The future sent him into the further future to save him, and then he traveled back before he was ever even sent to the future to save the past of the future that he's born in.
And then somewhere in there, a clone of him gets left on Apocalypse's doorstep and raised to be a spiky helmeted henchman.
Those fucking shoulder pads. Okay, Strife. The shoulder pads or the cape, bro. The shoulder pads or the cape. You cannot wear the shoulder. You cannot wear the cape over the spikes on your shoulder pad. It makes you look like a jackass.
Take advice from Mr. Sinister. If you're gonna wear the cape, go with the Dracula fucking lapels and make it as big as humanly possible.
Capes are a nice touch.
You're not the Shredder, Strife.
Doctor Strange seems to like his.
You know, I think I prefer the look of him in the full robe with the trench coat.
I just realized something horrifying. Okay, so guess what? Mid-Infinity War spoiler in our mid-Deadpool review. So when Strange goes, because of all the shit that happens in Infinity War, the cloak goes with him. Was the cloak just going because it was equipped to him? Or did it go because it was one of the things that went...
because it was a sentient being.
Nobody's talking about this. This is a tragedy that nobody's talked about. The cape is dead.
Cloakgate 2018. Bum bum.
This really is the darkest timeline.
Dude, I'm telling you what. Also, can we point out the fact that fucking they had to put in the fucking in association with Singer's film group TSG because they used the Singer Neon Purple Future from Days of Futures Past.
Okay, so another thing that thank you for bringing that up because it points something else up that I wanted to bring up, which is so we were discussing it the other day, and this is a good place as any to put a crazy absolute nonsense theory that we came up with. So in the X-Men series, at the end of at the end of Last Stand, Professor Xavier clones his brain and puts it into his
unconscious brother,
his comatose twin brother's body.
Okay, so this Deadpool review has turned into us discussing several X-Men things.
So but this actually kind of ties into things because it ties into Logan.
Yeah.
So his twin brother, who has no mutant powers, suddenly wakes up from a coma with Xavier's mind and all of Xavier's mutant powers stuffed into his normal human brain.
That's why he started having the seizures, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Because that normal human brain could not handle that advanced mutant psyche.
What if Logan is just the future that led to the Days of Future Past universe?
It totally is.
That leads back to them fixing the timeline.
It does, yeah, it's...
Motherfucker, dude.
That or Logan is the worst extreme from the Cure timeline.
Yeah, which I assume that's the worst...
Is the Days of Future Past timeline. Which is also apparently Cable's future timeline because they look remarkably similar.
Maybe the engineered mutants that escaped went on to create a lineage of uncurable mutants that were came from a genetically engineered stock. So all the mutants that escaped from the fucking the X-23, the
Richter,
they all went on to have kids that would have their own mutant powers that couldn't be suppressed by all
the
of these,
so they built the Sentinels.
Shit. Yeah, so they start building Sentinels again. The only hole in that entire timeline is that Logan dies in that movie and then has to go back in time to fix the timeline.
Yeah, see, I don't think... That's why I'm thinking that Logan is the end of a separate its own separate timeline.
We've shown that Wolverine's basically immune to death because, like, even the comics were like, he's dead for real. We covered him in adamantium
Logan
and left him for dead.
Logan has to be the end of the original trilogy's timeline.
It's the most likely.
You know, it fucking... Well, X-Men 1 through 3, fucking the 3 Wolverine movies, and Days of Futures Past. No, I think Logan is what I think that is I think that I think that the Sentinel future was the worst outcome of the original trilogy. Mutant Cure doesn't work. Obviously, they showed Magneto, so they activate the advanced Sentinels, right? I think that Wolverine, the Logan movie, is the extremely terrible outcome of them fixing the past in Days of Futures Past. So instead of no Sentinels, you get genetically wiped out.
Is that so? When there is that what happened to the weird ending where Stryker's secretly
Mystique? Yeah.
At the end of the other movie? Okay. So that timeline goes off and spirals off into its own hideously awful ending.
Yeah. Yeah, there is no good outcome. There is no good outcome. In the end, there is no good outcome, and that is a truly X-Men thing.
How many futures did you look into? 17 billion. How many did we win? Just one.
So my point is, we really enjoyed Deadpool. We've started trying to connect pieces of it to the timeline, seeing the First Class trilogy cast in Deadpool. You know, it fucking... Obviously, he is in that timeline. Obviously, something happens to Colossus. Unless those movies are the better timeline.
It's all just leads a big,
to the
ugly...
unless that's still the timeline that leads to the Sentinels.
It's all just a big, hideous, ugly, tortured mess.
And I can't really wait for fucking Marvel to get back their characters and start it over again with a fresh continuity. Now, don't get me wrong.
M Day's coming, bitch.
I love
Scarlet Witch is gonna...
I fucking love the X-Men movies. With a couple of exceptions. You know, 2 Deadpool movies, the X-Men Origins or the X-Men First Class trilogy, the Wolverine trilogy for the most part.
So
the original trilogy.
Calling it now, yo. I'm pretty sure that Scarlet Witch is gonna end up with the Infinity Gauntlet by the end of Avengers 4. And when she gets a hold of the Infinity Gauntlet,
mutants.
Yeah, they're gonna reverse House of Emma's and cause the entire timeline to shift to a universe where mutants are now a thing.
And have been.
Now people can't argue are superheroes the right thing because everyone's superheroes.
Okay, well, and that's our point. Like, X-Men's a convoluted mess, but the comic books are a convoluted mess. And we still got 1 movie to go, plus a couple of spin-offs before Marvel gets it back. Hopefully New Mutants hits the theater. I'm really looking forward to it. I know we're gonna get X-Force.
I think casting the girl who played Arya Stark as Wolfsbane was a little too on the nose, personally. That's just me.
Well, you know.
That's just me. That feels like deliberate. She was in Game of Thrones as the girl from the Wolf family.
That or they just wanted a small, tiny chick character that was fucking fierce, and, well, they're in
She is tiny. She looks like she's like 15. She's like 28 or something.
She's fierce, though.
I don't know how old she actually is. I'd have to look it up, and I don't feel like doing it.
But, so yeah, that's where we're at with this. If you enjoyed fucking the first movie, go see the second movie. I know we got a little rambly there.
If we have an X-Men New Mutants crossover, that means that Arya Stark and Sansa Stark have to meet as you know, Jean Grey and fucking Wolfsbane. So, by the way, Jean Grey, I know you used to be Marvel Girl, and sometimes they still call you Phoenix, but Jean Grey is the absolute worst code name for a character ever. Your code name is your real name? Do you just not care about people knowing who you are? Do you just give that... I mean, Charles Xavier even goes by Professor X, which, as far as code names go...
It's kind of terrible.
Professor Xavier. I wonder if this guy in a wheelchair with psychic powers named Professor Xavier.
So, again...
Why do any of them have code names? It's not like Wolverine has a real life outside of being an X-Men. And, you know, Scott Summers is very obviously the only square-jawed guy that never takes off red sunglasses in the world.
We live in a day and age where superheroes having fake identities doesn't save anybody.
Beast.
Well, maybe Bruce Wayne. I still think that Bruce Wayne needs his secret identity.
The Jekyll and Hyde thing from the movie at least makes sense. That way, Beast's secret identity,
Yeah,
he
I
can
didn't
look
mind
like
that.
a normal dude until he's like, oh, I'm a big hairy monster.
But hey, we're getting way the fuck off topic, man. We're like 15 minutes into this motherfucker.
Good. Does it feel like we're rambling? Because we are rambling.
So, what's on the agenda as far as movies go? I know we missed Super Troopers and we were going to do that, but we ended up not doing that. We'll catch it when it comes out on DVD and give you a review then.
So, thank you for
what's our next review though? What's the next thing we go and see? Solo?
Yeah, probably.
What was that shit we saw today? So if we're going to talk about upcoming flicks that we're going to go watch.
Thank you for reminding me. Previews that came up before our movie today. First and foremost, the H brothers have a movie coming out called 22 blocks, 22 miles, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
But it's an H brothers movie, and their kung fu flicks are always glorious, and they're fucking.
And it's a Marky Mark flick too.
Yeah, Marky Mark gets to play action fucking superhero military guy, which I know he loves. That's like his favorite
so there
role.
was that other fucking preview we saw that I swear to God, if it had Laura in it, it would have been the fucking sequel to Logan. In a world where all the kids are fucking dead except for the ones with superpowers.
Yeah,
I don't remember what the name of it is.
Neither. Yeah, no, but
The Darkest Matter or something like that.
Yeah.
Dark Matters. I don't remember what it's called. We will do an update video.
A bunch of superpowered children. It looks interesting. I wonder if it's based on a book or something. I'll have to look.
Yeah,
it up.
well, we'll have to look it up, and we'll do an update video, even if it's just a little 4-second of us being like, "That's the fucking movie right there. That's the name of it." But it looked really fucking good.
There's other things on the list too. I'm just trying to pull them.
Well, Solo's next, and then
Solo was one of the things.
Venom in October's on the list of shit we're gonna review, but that's in fucking October.
There was something else in the previews today that I'm trying to remember though, and it's gonna piss me off.
I want to go see that fucking rock movie Skyscraper.
I do too.
Like I want to review that.
I will continue to say it until I see the movie, and the movie proves me wrong. It looks like Die Hard, only instead of no shoes,
he's got one leg.
John McClane has a fake leg, and I am totally cool with that. That seems like a good way to go with it. And honestly, if I have learned anything from the movie Olympus Down, it's that
there are better White House Down.
It's that
there are better John McClane movies than the Die Hard flicks.
Yeah, there are better Die Hard flicks than some of the current Die Hard flicks. Die Hard, what was it?
Die Hardest?
No, the last one.
I'm gonna call it Viagra.
No, not Live Free or Die Hard, but
because it's old, it just won't go down.
A good day to Die Hard. There we go.
I'm just gonna call the series Viagra right now because it's so fucking Die Hard it won't go down.
Yeah, but a good day to Die Hard. Not a very good Die Hard movie. White House Down has everything a Die Hard movie needs without having, unfortunately, the one thing most Die Hard movies did have, which is Bruce Willis. If listening to Kevin Smith talk about his brief stint while being on the set of working on Live Free or Die Hard is anything to show,
Bruce Willis sucks.
Bruce Willis takes John McClane very seriously, and it might be too seriously, but
don't take it too seriously.
Well, yeah, the first movie's about one man gunning down an entire European? Is it just Hans? None of the other guys feel very European.
No, one dude's Swedish. Like, they're just a mixed bag. I don't even know anymore. I need to watch that movie again. We're way the fuck off subject. Yeah. We're fucking... there are just movies coming out. There was, what fucking...
So, 22 whatever with the fucking H brothers. I remember the H brothers.
I think we should go see that one about the chicken or fucking dude getting stuck on the boat. Where his ribs are all screwed up and his legs broken.
Yeah, I can't.
I can't remember the name of that one either.
The Perfect Storm 2. This story that didn't actually tie into the Perfect Storm, but we wanted to tell anyway.
I don't actually think that's what it is, but
no, but that's what
Perfect Storm 2, Storm Harder. So anyway, if you guys see anything that you think you'd like to see us review, Mutant Monkey, let us know, and we will make an effort. Oh, no, that was it. They're doing the riff tracks. We're going to go fucking...
That's right.
We're going to go see the goddamn fucking riff tracks.
June 14th at our local theater, they're doing a riff tracks live for Space Mutiny, which is one of my favorite. The only way they could have caught my attention anymore is if they'd offered a live riff tracks for fucking The Head That Wouldn't Die, because...
We own a copy of The Head That Wouldn't Die.
Best fucking MST3K episode, in my opinion. Like, my personal favorite episode. It's a brilliant fucking episode, but Space Mutiny's a close second. And getting to see them riff tracks Space Mutiny live is going to be amazing.
So we'll catch that. We'll review that.
Even if it's just us being like, that was fucking
amazing,
because there's not much to review.
Well, that's the same problem we ran into with Deadpool.
You want to see a good review of Space Mutiny before we get to it? Go watch Brad Jones's Space Mutiny review. It's on his channel.
Stone Gremlin Productions.
It's on his
Cinema Snob, baby.
Cinema Snob series, yeah.
So we have absolutely no problem plugging the people we're fans of. And here's the deal. Just because we are making these videos, I've been a performer in the past for a lot of years. Anybody that's ever seen me wrestle or do music or any of that. And something that I've never understood about the industry is when you become an artist, suddenly you're not allowed to be a fan anymore. And that's bullshit. And we are fucking fans, dude. Brad Jones is the shit. He cuts into them motherfuckers, dude. Fucking, I've hated critics most of my life, and I get that we're sitting here reviewing, but I'm not over here like, oh, that sucked, or I'm being fucking honest about what I'm saying. I'm not fucking corporately bought. He's not corporately bought. We're just fucking reviewing shit that we saw and how we felt about it. And how I felt about Deadpool, fucking one of the best X-Men movies they've ever made. Fucking great Deadpool movie. Fucking just as good, if not better in some spots than the first one.
It's better in its own ways, while still not,
It holds up. And that's important, because sometimes sequels don't hold up.
And that's an important thing, is it doesn't have to be better than the first movie. A sequel doesn't have to be better than the movie it was made from. It just has to be different. It has to be its own movie and not just
Well, that's why I like
same
Ghostbusters
thing
2.
Over again.
That's why I like Ghostbusters 2. That's why fucking, honestly, if you take X-Men Origins out of it, the Wolverine and fucking Logan are great movies. In their own rights. But the fact of the matter is, we're here because we enjoy the cinema. We're here because we love fucking movies. Not literally fucking movies, but we love going to the movies.
Although on the subject of fucking movies, I can't remember the actual name of the movie about the handjob cabin, but we're getting a movie about a ghost that beats you off to death. So try and catch that when it comes out too.
So yeah, in closing, go see Deadpool. We give it fucking 5 out of 5. I saw no fucking issue with it. It was beautifully shot. It was funny as fuck.
And because I enjoy movies that do have
super inappropriate.
I do enjoy movies that have little subtitles, underneath. We're going to now call this Deadpool 2, The Explosive Climax.
So, as always, I'm the Fat Bastard Clown. This is my partner in crime, Screw Loose Sykes. And we're saying, don't be a cinema cynic. Just fucking enjoy the movies, you dicks.
Except for Cinema for Cynics. That guy's dope.
That guy is fucking dope.